Everyone. So we're reading here from Wrestling Inc. While many fans are expecting a newly healed John Cena to walk out of WrestleMania 41 with the undisputed WWE Championship in hand, especially after a series of promos, including one where he claimed he was going to ruin wrestling, it appears WWE is still setting up contenders for Cody Rhodes. On a recent edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer discussed the opening segment of WWE SmackDown on Friday that saw Rhodes and Randy Orton interrupted by Drew McIntyre. Meltzer explained that the Scottish Warrior was at one point actually on deck to challenge Rhodes. When Drew McIntyre switched sides and went to SmackDown, it absolutely was to feud with Cody Rhodes over the championship, he said, but obviously things have changed since this happened. Meltzer said he thinks the idea is that WWE is telling fans that Rhodes is winning, so there is still a surprise to the match if he doesn't. Or he noted Rhodes very well could actually be winning at WrestleMania. Alvarez said, and Meltzer agreed, that he thinks Cena will lose the championship back to Rhodes, and Rhodes will have challengers that have already been established, like McIntyre. Okay. So, this is one of those moments where I do feel bad for Drew because he just feels like sometimes the odd man out. His character is good enough to be in all these main event matches, and yet it just feels like every time there's something that's twisted that just doesn't allow, for him to be the one to be in the match right now. And that sucks. That really, really sucks. But he just has to stick around. It's like what we said about Corey Graves. Like when you get moved, that's fine. You just got to stick there and they'll move you back at some point. And I think the same is true for Drew. He can't get too frustrated with all these little things. WWE will give you that push at some point, another one. But I can understand his frustration, even with Cena. I mean, it's tough to compete with this storyline they got right now. I mean, what was Drew supposed to do to get himself in this? This is about as good as a storyline as we could see. And the crazy part about it is we talked so much about the bloodline and kind of finishing the story, how great that storyline is. And really in from January until, WrestleMania, in just that short period of time, they've built a story that I think is equal to it. So it's just insane. It really is insane how good they've done. And I do feel bad for Drew that, he was slated to do this, but now things have changed. And I just hope, they can deliver him a good feud here with Damian Priest so that, he doesn't lose some momentum. So thank you all for watching.